so excited to welcome one of my favorite human beings who, if you're ever feeling down, just seeing his face makes you feel happier. JoJo Mason, welcome to Pure Country. How are you?
Shannon, it's so good to see you.
You
It's so
too.
good to see you, homie. Oh man.
Seeing you is like a warm hug, even though I can't actually get a real hug from you right now. Just like getting to talk to you feels like a warm hug.
Yeah, but if I was there, you'd get a real big
I
squeeze because
know.
that's how I get down, girl.
The best hugs in the world. So, how have you been before we dive in and talk about the new music, which is
Yeah.
obviously very fitting for Bellet's Talk Day and a topic that you and I have discussed so many times on podcast style interviews and on Pure Country is mental health. But how are you aside from all of that right now?
Yeah. I am the short answer is I am so good.
Good.
The short answer is I am so good. Obviously we're dealing with a bunch of, real life things on the daily, but one of the things that I'm working on right now, Shan, is appreciating the things that I do have and constantly reminding myself that, life is good. Yeah, we deal with the little things here and there and sometimes they explode into big things, but for the most part, I'm good.
And
You
it's
know,
hard to do that sometimes because, real life problems and issues that come up, like it really does fog your brain when you are trying to focus on what you're grateful for. It's hard when like something is frustrating or bringing you down. So what are things that you have been doing? Because we've talked about this in the past of like practices. And I'm feel like you gave me like homework to do when we did this interview. And I don't know if I've been doing my homework, but I've been trying. So what are those things that you do for yourself that really help just kind of ground and also
yeah,
focus on the good?
Shan, it's for the last while, I haven't been doing anything. Just like you had that homework that I gave you a long time ago for you to do to be working on yourself and your mental health and all your physical health, your emotional health, all of the things. I haven't been doing any of it. I have not been taking care of myself. Like we talked about, life happens and sometimes we go through the roller coaster, right? The last while I've been in my downswing, like I said, I've got a lot of good going on, but I was in my downswing. Now I was able to do a little bit of writing. I was able to do a little bit of writing when I was in my dark, my downswing. But what I've been doing and what I've been really focusing on, like I said, is trying to embrace and appreciate the things that I do have. And it's almost impossible to see all of those things unless you're writing stuff down. So I'm a visual guy, so I need to be able to see it to be like, oh right, I got a roof over my head. Okay. Oh right, I got a full fridge. Oh snap, I got a beautiful son. I got a great wife. I got a car that drives me from A to B. I don't have to go do anything today because there's snow on the ground. You know what I mean? Like I can have a home day with my family and not so there's all these little things that are so positive in you every day. My big thing right now is writing it down so I can see it and I can appreciate it and have it right there in front of me.
That's kind of like the idea. Is it like the good journal, or there's like a journal that it's like 5 things every day that you write down first thing when you wake up in the morning so that you start your day not allowing those negative feelings to like swoop in right away, but like just hey, first things first, like write down things you're grateful for, write down like one goal for the day that's achievable so that you're not setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, it's the little wins, right? That keep us. It's the little wins that keep us going and that keep us motivated and that keep us excited. And a lot of people go through these periods where it doesn't feel like you get a win at all, even in the slightest bit.
Yeah.
So when you're not getting these wins, it's almost impossible to flip that switch. It feels impossible to flip that switch to be able to start taking steps and doing things that will pull you out of that. But um, yeah, I've started just writing everything down. Also, I started making my bed again.
Me
So when I
too.
right, so when I get out of bed, you talk about little wins, Shan. Talk about little wins. You know what the best thing is in the world is walking back into my room in the middle of the day and being like, ooh, ooh, I did that. You know what I'm saying?
I
I
do
made
the
that
same
bed.
thing. It's the best. It's such a weird thing that, like, guys, making your bed will change your whole day. Steven thought I was crazy. I was like, 2024, babe, we're making our bed every morning. He's like, yeah, okay. Like, woohoo. And then the other day, I'm like, I'm going to get him on record saying it, but he was literally like, feels really nice to go in our room when the bed is made. It just like feels like we are more put together. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. You're
Make your
welcome,
bed.
Steven. Make your bed. But here's the cool thing about that. Okay, let me hit you with a little fact. In the army, okay, when you get enrolled or you enroll yourself in the army, that's their like mantra when they wake up every morning is you must make your bed, fold your clothes, whatever it is, and your bed has to be immaculate every single morning. And they do that because that sets a standard of discipline every single day. That's the first win of the day. So every day you wake up with that initial win. And that's how you start your day. So I'm thinking like, hey, if the army's doing it, like, man, it can't be too good for me. You know what I'm
I
saying? I
can
could
do it.
probably make my bed too. I can make
Yeah.
my bed.
Are you really good at making the bed, or have you gotten better as you've done it more often? Have you like tried new
I
things?
mean, I don't like to brag or nothing, but we got them dual duvets, and I like to line up perfect and then flip the top over in the front, so it's got the nice thing at the top, and then the pillows got to be arranged nice because it makes it look
It
good,
does. Okay, not
you
to stray
know.
away from the topic of mental health, but before we move on from the making the bed, do you tuck the sheets in like a hotel bed,
Ooh,
or do you not tuck?
I tuck the sheets in,
Okay.
but I don't tuck the duvet in.
Okay. See, I like everything tucked, and Steven thinks I'm a crazy person. He's like ripping it out. He's like, stop doing this.
That's the best part of it, though. Is like when it is tucked in, then you get to use your feet and kick it all out,
Yeah.
and it's like,
It's like a
yeah, yeah,
fun
yeah.
little
I'm with you.
game.
I'm with you.
I'm
I'm
just
with you.
trying
I
to
feel
keep
you.
everyone entertained. Okay, moving on back to, but yes, making your bed in the morning is a great way to start your day.
Yes, it is.
What else are you doing other than, writing things down? Is therapy something that you have, sought in the past or still are, using as a
Yeah,
tool?
it's a weird therapy is a weird thing for me, man. It's like a long time ago when I was really going through it. This was before music. I was, my early 20s. I was in this real weird place. I was in this real dark place. I was really going through it, and I remember having this mentality of talking to somebody or going to therapy is a sign of weakness. It's a sign of if I need to ask for help, what kind of man am I? I can't be asking for other people's help. And if I can't deal with my own stuff, you know what I mean? And I was punishing myself and crucifying myself for not being able to, deal with the things that, professionals probably could help you with, right? So for the longest time I refused. Best thing I ever did was go to counseling. I got this incredible piece of advice. The one thing that I took from this counselor, and I'll share it with you later, but the one thing that I took from this counselor was incredible. And I still carry it with me to this day. I try to implement it in my everyday. It doesn't work all the time because I'm my own worst enemy. However, there was a solid period where I probably should have been going and talking to somebody. And I got back into that mentality where it was like, no, I went there. I did it. I don't need to talk to nobody no more. I'm fine. I can deal with my stuff. I don't need help. I don't need help. I don't need help. Boy, was I wrong. You know what I mean? So for the last few months, I found this guy. His name is Ken, and he's incredible. We do Zoom counseling sessions. I've seen him in the last month, twice a week, and and I think there's this large stigma, like I was saying, about not being able to go talk to somebody and thinking it is failure or weakness, and not being able to accomplish it by yourself, and that couldn't be the farthest thing from the truth. So to long answer your question, yeah, I have been seeking, or I've sought out, and I am going to counseling, twice a week right now,
Good
because
for
right
you.
now, and that's the thing, Shannon, is like it it feels good to have somebody that I can shoot my, shoot my stuff to, and put my stuff somewhere. Because listen, we all got bullshit, right? Sorry to cuss on TV, whatever. We all got our stuff. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
all got our stuff, and we have to put it somewhere, whether
Yeah.
it be negative, positive. I'm giving all my love, my joy to my friends, my family, my son, my wife. All this negative energy, pent up energy. A lot of the time, we go to the gym, we are able to release. But if you don't have that outlet, then all you're doing is just letting it build and build and build and build and build. And so for me to have this opportunity to finally accept that you can talk to Chanel too. You talk to my wife. I was reluctant to go. And I fought her on it, and I fought her on it. And between the women in my life, between her and my mother, I was pushed into it, and it couldn't have been it couldn't have gone, or couldn't be any better.
I love that. And I think it's so true. Like, I went through it beginning of last year. Waiting until using it as a last resort is not the way to go. Like, if you are at a point where you feel like you need it, go. And even before you get to that point, go and talk to them, because there might be something that you're not even realizing you're harboring that you need to discuss. And I did I hid every single feeling that I was having of struggle, because I knew that if I talked to Steven or mentioned it to him, he is the type that would encourage me to go talk to someone, because he wants me to get help and whatever, and encouraged to talk to him. And I was like, I can't talk to him about it, because he's going to want me to get help, and I don't want to get help. And so I hid it for so long. The funny thing is now is that, I don't know if you feel this way, but after talking to therapist about it, which it is just really freeing talking to a stranger about it that doesn't know any of your past or know anything about you. I find that I talk so much more openly to the people in my circle about how I'm feeling on a day-to-day basis that I never did before. Do you do that?
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I do the same thing. I think it's because you're able to take these things that. So I had a session yesterday, and one of the things that my counselor said to me was, one of the things that Ken said to me was that the negative feelings and the things that personally that I am feeling are all revolved around shame. I'm ashamed that I look this way. I'm ashamed that I feel this way about myself. I'm ashamed that I can't stop, I can't stop myself from eating that large pizza. I'm ashamed that I don't, fit the body type, or I'm ashamed. Shame is the culprit. Shame is the thing that surrounds all these problems. But the minute you're able to bring these things to light and realize, I got nothing to be ashamed of. You know what I mean? These are just the things that we're going with, things that we're dealing with. But it allows you to be able to own the things that you're feeling, and own your feelings, and accept that I control this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got this in the bag. Nobody's going to be able to dictate it, right? So I'm able to talk about these things that are going on, and these hard life lessons, just like you said, somebody you don't know, but it takes that stigma away from it, and allows you to be able to be open and free and honest, and not be ashamed of the things that you were so ashamed of, and be able to talk about it with your friends, and
Yeah.
and I think that's so important, to be able to communicate that to people, to be able to own your feelings, no matter how hard it is to be able to do so. And I'm just learning that. So I'm
Yeah.
33, Shan. Like, I'm old now, you know what I mean? And
Wow. We're all
I'm
learning
just
as we go. How old are you?
learning. I'm 33.
I'm 32. Okay.
Yeah, but when do you turn 34? I turn
When
34 next month, Chad. I
That's
turn
okay.
34 next month.
You're young. And that's, I think, what is really important for us to remember is that you can still be learning these things when you're in your 50s and your 60s and your 70s. Like, you are never too old to make a change and do something that scares you. Even if you've spent your whole life being like, I don't need help, I'm not going to talk to anybody. You can do that and feel a positive change and learn something new about yourself and how to deal with things and get some tools. And you have a really great alternative outlet to speaking and feeling how you're feeling, which is in music and songwriting. And so, Toxic, tell us about this song, how it came to be, because I got to hear it a long time ago, because I'm a very, very lucky girl. But this is a really special song. And I know that this was something that means so, so, so much to you to be able to put it out.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I almost pulled the project last week. I almost pulled the whole thing and said absolutely not. We're not doing it again because I was in that roller coaster. I was in that downswing, and I started getting self-conscious, and I started, you know, feeling anxious about putting it out, something so personal. Um, so I'll give you a little bit of backstory. So I wrote this song. I wrote this song at like 3 in the morning. It was one of those, like, I woke up full sweats, panic attack mode. I was going through it. Oh my God, I'm disgusting. I'm fat. I'm gross. I'm a terrible dad. I'm not. I looked over at my partner. I'm not being a good husband. I'm a terrible brother. All of these things started just roasting my brain. Just started absolutely roasting me. And it was a time where I was just kind of, you know, I was lost in it, and I didn't know how to compartmentalize. I didn't know how to comprehend. I couldn't figure it out, and so I pulled my phone out once I calmed down. Once the sweats calmed down, I pulled my phone out and I just started writing how I was feeling. And then I started putting things down in, you know, in a different order, and then all of a sudden my brain calmed down and my feelings calmed down, my anxiety calmed down, and I was able to like kind of structure it. All the things that I was feeling. It's a very dark song, you know, and it's not something that I normally do, but I wrote it from that dark place, you know, and I've never done that before, Shannon. So when I put this down on paper, I went to the piano. I was like, wow, like I said, it was early or late, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
And I go down to the piano and I try to put some chords together, some keys together. I said, oh, that sounds nice. That sounds all right. I had a session with my best friend Ryan, and me and Ryan are doing all these covers and stuff together. He's an incredible producer. So I took it to him. I said, "Man, I wrote this thing the other day. You know, I was really going through it. I had a panic attack. It was a night." I told him the story, and I grabbed the guitar and I kind of tried to play it for him. I'm not very good at the guitar, so you know it's crazy. So I tried grab the guitar and I tried to strum it how it was supposed to go. And he said, "Okay, why don't you just give me that and then I'll do it." And so I would tell him the chords. He's like, "Yeah, I got it." And he just managed to put something together, and I sang the song while he played almost immediately. And then we started recording some stuff, and he's like, "Why don't we just lay it all down, man?" And within a day, we had this song, and it's one of those songs, Shan. The lyrics are the most important thing to me about it because of where I was at when I wrote it, and it's a reminder that to me that like this dark piece of me, this exists. This is a real part of me, and I know not just myself, but I know a ton of other people. You know, they have that too, and they don't have nowhere to put it, or they feel like if they're feeling a certain way about life or things like that they're a little bit messed up. You know what I mean, and that they shouldn't be feeling this. And I wrote this song, and I'm putting this song out with the sole intention to connect with people, to let them know that I'm messed up too. You know what I mean? We all
We all
go through
are.
it.
Yep.
I had a friend of mine the other day say to me, "Man, I haven't talked to him probably about a year and a half." He called me out of the blue. He says to me, he's like, "Man, you must be doing really well. I see on Instagram, your life looks amazing, man. You're going here, you're doing this, you do that." Little did he know that like I am struggling the most that I have been struggling in a very long time. You know, so you don't see that. And a lot of people do, you know, they do struggle in silence. Like I said, I'm doing my best. I'm giving myself a chance to come to be on the up and up and do the right things to take care of myself so I can be the best dad for my son, husband for my wife, friend for my buddies, you know, son for my parents, you know.
And
But
also
this
the
song,
best you for you, because that is like doing all of those things is really stopping and putting yourself
it's
first.
15 it's filling my cup up so I can be that for everybody
Yeah.
else. And there's things that if I'm gonna put my happiness based on everybody else, then you're never gonna be happy, right?
Yeah.
So the thing that I love about this song is that it's very me, but it's not a piece of me that I have shared often.
Yeah.
You know, and the response I got from just the video that I posted saying like, hey, y'all, like, you know, we all go through it. The response that I got has been absolutely insane. So I mean, again, I don't know what the song is, what it's going to do. The only reason I'm putting this out there is to, you know, to connect with somebody that may be going through their shit, that feels like, you know, that they're a little messed up in the head, but like everybody's going through it. We all
Yeah.
dealing with it, and we all need to deal with it together, right? You got to give yourself a chance. Also, I hear my kid just woke up. He's screaming over there.
Oh no.
So if you get some screams, that's what it is.
I can't hear it, but and that's becoming a new parent, being a husband or being a wife. Those are things that you know, on social media. And when you tell people, it's like, those are joyful things, but they also come with their own set of stresses and difficulties and challenges. And it's easy to feel pressure to have it all figured out and perfect. And it's not always like that. So it's, you know, I kudos to you for putting a song out like this, because honestly, if it helps one person, you have done more than you possibly could have ever imagined, because that
Shan,
is the goal of music.
that's why I got into this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's why I've stayed into this, is because of the people that you're able to help, the reach that you're able to have, the community that you're able to build with the platform that you have. Like it's if you're not using the platform and you're not doing what you love for the right reason, what's the point?
Yeah.
And for me, I love music. I've always loved the music, but I love helping people. I love being an ear for people. I love being a shoulder. I love being, you know, I love being that for people. And that's one of the things that fills my cup. And if I can help one person with one song, that means more to me than anything else, you know. And
For sure.
that's the goal for this song. You know, it's not going to radio. I'm not trying to get no number ones. I'm just trying to, you know, I just hope this song connects with people like it does for me, because it's a very personal song. It's the constant battle that we deal with in our head is, are we good enough? Are we
Yes.
worthy? Are we, you know, what is my self-worth? And you know, I just hope this song connects with people. I don't know,
Well, I'm
man.
so proud of you for putting it out. And I think you're going to be shocked to see how many people connect with it and are moved by it, and it helps. And I think a really good reminder, especially talking to you, JoJo, is that you are this vibrant and joyful person that I my nickname growing up was Smiley, because I was always the happy girl. And that's a great thing to be known as. It's also very pressuring, because it's difficult to be the person that's supposed to always be happy and jolly and excited and, you know, happy go lucky, to step back and go, hey, I'm actually not feeling that. I'm struggling, but I'm, you know, put on the face of it. And so I think it's going to connect with so many people that feel similarly to you, that feel that pressure, that you can also, yes, you can be happy, but you can also struggle and get through it and have your difficulties. And for you to be open and honest about that, I think is one of the bravest things ever, and why I'm so honored to have you on the show today and any day, but especially today, to talk about it. Because I think it is really important to know that even the happiest seeming of people go through their difficulties and need to talk about
Yeah.
it.
And the thing that I love about this, Shannon, the thing that I love about what you do is that we're able to give voice to people, right? We're able to help and lend voice to people that are struggling. We're able to, you know, if somebody hears this interview that we don't even know, you know what I mean? It might help, it might connect, and that's why we do what we do. You know, I'm just hoping that it does, and I appreciate you for having me on. You know what I'm saying?
Always, anytime, literally
It's a big
anytime,
deal, man. It's a big deal for me, and I appreciate you taking that time for me,
anytime.
girl.
I love you, JoJo. We love you, JoJo Mason. Thank you for being on Pure Country, and hope I get to see you soon. And just a reminder, make your beds.
Make your beds. I love you too, Shan. I'll see you soon. Hopefully, girl. Oh, snap.